Killer Tank is a combat cycle boss in DC Dark Legion who shows up on Wednesday or Thursday at reset, depending on where you are in the world. And I want to spend a little bit of time today doing an update video on his combat cycle. Killer Tank has a very unique kit, and it's actually a really fun strategy to try to get as many points as you can on this boss. So he is going to, just like any of the other phase 2 bosses, we're going to be talking about just phase 2 for this video. He will take additional damage, 100% more single target damage. And then the key element to how the fight is going to go with Killer Tank is Fatal Frenzy. So he's going to be charging back and forth across the battlefield, and he'll be doing damage, knocking back all of the enemies that he hits. And each charge, one way or the other, like forward and backward, is going to burst one tire. Interesting and unique mechanic for Killer Tank is he's going to have 8 tires that you have to bust so that you can do more damage to him. So he has this self-repair feature to his kit, and basically he's going to, while he's doing the Fatal Frenzy, going back and forth, he's going to take 50% less damage in that state. When he's inflicted with a control effect, he's going to ignore the control effect, but one of his tires will pop. If the control effect lasts longer than 4 seconds, it will pop 2 additional tires. So there are some champions who can bust 3 total tires. We'll talk about a couple of those in this video. When all 8 of the tires are blown, he's going to enter into a repair state. He'll go back up to the top of the map. He'll stop. He's going to be stationary, but he will still be able to fire off the other 2 abilities that we're going to talk about in just a moment. But the key is that during the repair state, he's going to take 100% more damage. So you really want to get him into that repair state as much as possible in the fight. And that's going to be one of the key things that we'll talk about when we're actually doing one of the runs at the end of the video. Now, the tires will repair themselves over time. You can watch it. It's going to count down from 8. And when it gets to 0, he'll be out of the repair state. It is possible to use those same characters that can pop the tires to keep him in the repair state longer. So you don't want to be holding those ultimates, the ones that can pop the tires. You definitely want to be trying to use those to keep him in that repair state. He can only stay in the repair state for about 20 seconds total, and then he's going to come out of it. It's really difficult to get him to stay in there for 20 seconds, but you can usually hold it for between 5 and 10 fairly easily. One thing that they've done a good job of recently is trying to finally fix the text, flavor text for self-repair, and now we know what some of the control effects are. Stunned, Bound, Mental Breakdown, Bewitched, and there are a few others, but anything that incapacitates or interrupts. So if your character's kit has a specific statement that it can interrupt or incapacitate, you can take that to mean you can pop a tire using it. Now, the final 2 abilities are called Scorched Earth and Murder Missiles, and both of those abilities are going to do a pretty massive amount of AoE damage. Towards the end of the fight, it is kind of difficult to heal up from that, so you have to watch out for it. Make sure that you're saving your healer's ultimate, or figuring out some sort of way to stay alive, shields, that sort of thing. The bonus point champions for Killer Tank are going to be Superman and Batman. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend you use Batman, but that's a different story. I've done a character deep dive on him to explain why he's not the greatest champion in the world. But if you did invest in him, certainly try to utilize him in this fight if you want to get those bonus points. At least do a little bit of testing. Superman's going to be the key one here. A lot of people do have Superman built up for obvious reasons. Good with Superman family. He's the only win condition champion that we have for Justice League right now until Lobo comes into the game. But Superman will give you additional bonus points if you can use him here. Now, my recommended champions, you can see them on the full graphic that I've put out for Combat Cycle DPS champions. Includes several champions that are pretty much mainstays within the Combat Cycle boss community, I suppose. Obviously, we have the bonus champions, which are Superman and Batman here, but I included Joker, Nightwing, and Sinestro because I think they all do fairly good single target damage. And I've also included Bane and Crypto. And again, this is sort of a unique boss. So, unique recommendations here. They're not necessarily DPS champions, but they're so important to popping tires that I would say most lineups should include one of these champions. Now, another one that I probably will include in future versions of this graphic is going to be Artemis. I've been testing her a good bit. I have her in Red Stars finally, and she can pop 3 tires as well with one of her abilities. So be on the lookout for updates to this graphic probably within the next 30 days or so from the filming of this video. But for right now, these are kind of the main ones that you should be focusing on. We'll take a quick peek at the combat cycle scores for server 202. A couple of the main people that are at the top of the leaderboards have not done their attacks for the day. You can see that I am in second place here with 445 million. Again, anybody who has been following this channel for a while knows that I'm not getting the best scores, but I get pretty solid ones. I'm certainly happy with getting close to that 500 million mark on this boss. This one's definitely been a difficult one for me to try to get my damage numbers up. So super thrilled with the score that I have here. You can see that I use Joker, kind of a hyper carry for Joker. Obviously have Superman in there to get the bonus points. But we're doing something very similar to my strategy for some of the other fights. You throw Zatanna and Superboy in there, Crypto to bust tires, and then you have Joker. You could throw Bane in instead of one of the 2 support champions, but in my opinion, I think this typically is the best lineup. So, experiment, do a little bit of trial and error, but this is what I have found works best. You really don't need more than one champion who can pop a ton of tires. I know Superman and Crypto both can do it fairly well. You can see Smill here has a hyper carry for Joker where he's using Flash and pretty much trying to get, he's got a 3 tag synergy for Arkham, so his effect accuracy is going to be super high. And we'll actually try a version of this. I think I would probably remove either Zatanna or Superboy and throw in Flash in place of one of those to see if we can ramp that damage up. Since you can already see that I've done this score here with this team, maybe we'll try that one and see what can happen. Got a couple of other lineups here. Again, a lot of hyper carries for Joker. Another one here. We've got a kind of Legion of Doom type setup with Green Lantern as the healer. Green Lantern actually can pop tires with his stun ability. So again, you can see that theme. Any champion who can do those incapacitates is pretty good. Actually, I believe Scarecrow, pretty solid champion at popping tires as well. So that's definitely one that's worth using there. All right, so let's go ahead and see what we can do. I was doing some testing with Artemis to see if I could get a high score with her. I think I did over 100 million, probably 115 million with Artemis. I'm not going to show you that run. It's not super impressive. I think the total between her and Superman plus the bonus was around 250 to 300 million, which was pretty nice. But we're going to remove Artemis. We'll remove Zatanna and throw in Joker and Flash, and we'll see if we can make this lineup work. And I am going to move Joker up to the front here. Okay, so kind of the same song and dance as some of the other fights that we've done in the past. Take auto off here and see what we can do. Now, Superman, it's kind of difficult to use him sometimes. You have to basically catch the tank when it's going through, when it's passing through. We're going to use as many of the Flash ults as we can on our Joker. I'll go ahead and power him up a little bit. And typically with Joker, I don't really worry about, and that was probably an inefficient use, but we just popped the 8 tires. So now I definitely want to use as many damage dealing abilities as we possibly can. Luckily, we had all of our ults up there. Go ahead and use another Joker ult. And now you can see he's going to take 50% less damage. Always do your, try to time your Crypto ult for whenever Crypto is, or whenever the killer tank is at the top of the screen. Because if you let killer tank go to the bottom of the screen when Crypto does his ult, he'll basically fully miss the killer tank. So that's a key tip as well. I think we've done 3 total on Joker now, so we can start buffing Superboy to Superman. Go ahead and do that. And when I pop tires, I should get 8 here. There we go. So again, we're going to just try to give as much of our damage to Superman and Joker as possible. Should see a couple of those special abilities. There's one of them. And then, oh, we mistimed that. So let me just reset here. Okay. Joker will use Superboy on Superman, and hopefully we don't lose our Joker. Okay. And just mistimed it again. So you can see the importance of making sure you're paying attention on these runs, because I definitely will be scoring much less on this one than I typically would because of those missed opportunities. Get Superman going, and we didn't quite make it with Krypto's ult there. I was going to try to show you that he can actually extend the amount of time that the tires are repairing. So we got 300 million there. Definitely not as much as I would have liked. Probably could have paid a little bit more attention to the run and gotten a better score. But let me just go ahead and show you the run without Flash in it. It's a little bit easier to do the run. It's almost more of an auto mode than anything when you do it this way. Not having to worry about timing things as much. It just makes it a little bit easier. So let's go ahead and we'll do this run. And you know what? I might do a bonus to show you what the Amazons look like in just a moment too. As soon as we finish this, not going to be a super high score, but just for fun, we're just going to cycle Zatanna as soon as we can. We'll always give attack to Joker first. We can go ahead and use that. Hopefully, oh, I missed it already. Okay, not the best start here, but we'll see if we can recover. So I'm just going to continue to try to give as much as possible to Joker. All right, now that will work. So Krypto gets the 8 of 8. We can use Joker's ult. I think this will be the last Superboy ult for Joker. And then, so Superman typically, let me see. Oh, so we that was kind of weird. So what happened was I was trying to get Krypto's ult off before Killer Tank came out of repair state, but when it went off, it looks like it immediately popped tires. So I guess, I'm not going to complain about that. We'll get back into repair state a little bit quicker now, but just continue to, I think at this point we can probably just start just immediately spamming Superboy's ult whenever it shows up. Let me know what you think in the comments. I think this is a boss that really frustrated me whenever I was trying to figure out how it worked. But the more I play it, the more I do appreciate the strategy behind this boss and this mode. So I think we're definitely not going to be hitting a high score here, but you get the idea. This is definitely a better score than the one with Flash. So kind of experiment, see what you can do with it. We'll look at our damage meters. Obviously Joker doing a ton of work there. But 370 million, I'm not going to complain with. All right, and just for fun, we'll do a third run with our Amazons. And the way the tag synergy works with Amazons, I'll show you in just a moment. We'll use our Death Metal Wonder Woman. She's not going to do too great here. We can use our Hippolyta. She's going to be standing in as our healer. Artemis is going to be popping tires for us. Let's see, what else can we use? I think we can use Superman to try to get our 30% bonus. And then I'm going to use Zatanna to buff attack. If you look at the Amazon's tag synergy bonuses here, we have the basic faction bonus, which will grant extra energy and physical defense. But then you also have, should be one. Well, it's not showing it now. There it is. No. Well, it's not showing all of the faction bonuses. There's one for Artemis where if the more you have, the more Amazon champions you have, it gives a little bit of, there it is. Okay. So at the start of the battle, increases Artemis's attack and physical defense by 16% for each Amazon's ally present. So if you have a full set of Amazon's champions, she's going to do a massive amount of damage. But we do have to kind of pull that back a little bit to make sure that we are hitting all the boxes to actually, get as many points as possible here. All right, let's fight and see what happens. This is definitely a much more auto battle type situation. And you kind of have to, again, Artemis and Superman are super slow when they run across the battlefield. So you kind of have to like catch the tank whenever it's kind of riding through in order to pop the tires there. But just try to keep those shields on as much as possible. Let's see what the ults are. So Artemis did 6 million, Superman did 2.8 million. Probably another good reason why Superman fell down to A+ tier. Artemis is very clearly a much better single target damage dealer than Superman at this point. Quite unfortunate, but I mean, I'm super happy with my investment in the Amazon's team anyway. All right, so we're back in the 100% damage mode. Let's see if we can get all of our ults off. Another Artemis ult for 2.7 million, not as much there. We'll just keep charging forward. I think we're gonna lose our Zatanna. So we got 30 seconds. So hopefully we can, I would really like to get to the 200 million mark with the 30% bonus. I think that would make me pretty happy. You can see losing that Zatanna attack bonus really takes away a lot of your ability to do damage. I'm curious what it would have looked like with Superboy. You can run that for yourself if you have the same champions. Oh, I guess we could do some quick math to figure out exactly what that final score was. I didn't mean to misclick off of it, but enjoyed providing. I appreciate you hanging out with me for a few minutes. Enjoyed making this guide. I'm really having some fun going back and doing these combat cycle update videos. Let me know in the comments below if you have a team that you use that works really well, or if you are the high score on your server. Definitely want to hear from you on that. Any sort of tips or advice that I might have missed with Killer Tank, would love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. You'll get notified anytime I put out new DC Dart Legion videos like this. And if not, I still hope to see you in the next video.